My guest today is Jos Ubels. Hello, Jos.
Hi.
The Vice President of the Farmers Defence Force, and organization which is organizer of the largest protest in the Netherlands, and one of the largest, if not the largest, even in Europe. In Europe, but also in the world, there is lots of talk about struggle of Dutch farmers and with the government. And in the 21st century, under the guise of fighting with the climate and care of environment, the local government tried to introduce the laws which force farmers to reduce emissions on their farms, and it's equal to the level equivalent to the liquidation of these farms. So if the farms not comply with this imposed restriction, the government gains the right to expropriate them from their own land. So a few days ago, situation changed drastically in the Netherlands. Yesterday, during the press conference, and later during the speech of in the Dutch Parliament, the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Mark Rutter, announced his retirement from the politics. So this is undoubtedly the effect of your actions of the Farmers Defence Force. If it wasn't your fight for the right to produce, then cabinet would be still strong and would not collapse for sure. Can this be seen as a triumph of the farmers?
Yeah, well, of course it can be seen as a triumph for farmers, because we are not only farmers, we are also civilians of the country, and we want to have a good and healthy country where everybody can have enough food and food security and safety. And we need farms for this, and everybody knows that, but only our politics try to fight farms. They have a lot of special plans in which they can create a better world but I think it's only a better world for themselves and not for the people in the country. That's why we stood up and we fought them. And Mark Rutte is not the first minister that's gone by protests. He's the first prime minister, but we already had Carola Schouten, and after that we had Staghouwer, and now we have Adema, and he's also leaving. So yeah, he's actually number 4.
Oh, well done. So, but the history shows that there was the cases. Then even if after the collapse of the government, in the run-up election, the new law was still pushed through in the Netherlands. You don't fear that maybe this time is the same case?
Well, actually, the last time the former cabinet of Rutte, the coalition, had the same problem. They were sent home because the coalition broke, and then they discovered that they could make a new coalition with exact the same parties, and they didn't have to go to have elections. So the people of the Netherlands were not involved in this choice for this coalition. This is the second time that they are sent home. And the last time I can fully remember that Mark Rutte said, when his last coalition broke, he said to the media by some sort of very sick joke, he said, well, now because now I'm not prime minister anymore, I'm demissioner prime minister, but this gives me more power because you can't send me away now. So, and this was a really weird joke, and people didn't understand. I think it was they thought it was really not correct to say, and it really showed the narcissistic way of him ruling the Netherlands. And this time it costs him a lot, because we know that inside of the coalition they forced him to go because they are afraid that all of the ruling parties at the moment lose a lot of votes in the polls. And they are all afraid if the coalition collapses that they will be all losers. And yeah, this due to a lot of protests of farmers. This is one thing for sure.
So decided to just sacrifice one person.
Yeah, they think when one head rolls, the rest can stay up, but they are forgetting that the farmers are still there. And we will take care that there will be a very good cleanup this time.
Okay. Okay, fingers crossed for it. And what if the approach to reduction and to environment issues is not defined as controversial content?
Yeah, well, actually, it should be. Yeah, it should be a huge laugh if they decide that this environmental issues and, for example, the nitrogen issues will not be declared controversial by the council, by the government, because all of the world is looking at the Netherlands. What's going on here? What is the Netherlands doing with nitrogen? What is the Netherlands doing with their farmers? And we even have a ministry of nitrogen. Can you imagine? And if they think that this is not a controversial subject, the last time this subject was discussed at high stakes, the streets in the Netherlands were burning. So I think if there's something controversial, it's this subject. But if they choose not, we will see what happens. Some of the organizations think that now the coalition is broken, they can make very good deals with certain political parties. But I think let's wait for new people to come and new people to deal with, and then we can see if they are capable of making correct policy.
So what are the actions ahead of Farmers Defence Force? Did you set up some goals before the next election?
Yes, we had some. Actually, we prepared some actions before the coalition broke. One of the action was that one of the coalition partners is the Christian Democrats. We just ordered 12,000 flags of their party and their colors, so that we could turn them upside down alongst all the highways in the Netherlands. Yeah, so we have a little bit of problems with this producer of the flags because he produced already and now we have to pay, but the coalition broke already. So the new actions we are planning ahead of us, they are, yeah, we won't elaborate too much about it, but one thing for sure, we will pay a lot of attention to the politics and they will be the sunshine of the day. Don't worry.
Okay, looking forward to it. Do you think this is a good sign that you can lose a lot by fighting with the farmers? In Poland, for example, we have examples that the politicians who tried to reduce agriculture in the past, they didn't get to parliament afterwards. So do you think it will be the same case in the Netherlands?
Yes, of course. Yes, people that have a little bit experience with politics know that they only go for their electorate. They only go for the voters because they want their position back. So they need to say things that people like in the country and like in the field, and then they get their votes. We also know as civilians, as farmers especially, that the things that politicians promise in times of election are not the things that they will do when they are chosen. So for us, it's really hard to trust the old members of the parliament, because they betrayed us several times and they betrayed the Netherlands several times. So I think we need a lot of new blood in the chamber and in the parliament. And with BBB, one of the bigger parties in the Netherlands now, we have a lot of possibilities because a lot of farmers are involved, a lot of people with good knowledge are involved. But there is a counter side in this, because we are also seeing that they are very new in this and they are very willing to deal with other parties because they want to have their startup. They want to get in the parliament no matter what. So we are paying very close attention even to them, because if they try to surpass the farmers in the whole discussion and they give too much away, we will also there will be more people in this party that have a really warm coming months.
Okay, so Poland has been permanently censored as the European Union for the European Union as for many months, as we are called that we are treated as a country of provide the rule of law. And so for that reason, we couldn't get some money, let's say, for example, for the reconstruction plan. And do you think that maybe now it looks like that the Netherlands is actually there is a problem with the rule of law? No, in Poland.
Well, actually, I can understand that you, as a Polish inheritant, thinks that maybe, okay, now we are blamed as Poland for not obeying the rule of law, and now we're seeing a lot of weird things happening in the Netherlands. So maybe they are on the same level. I think we are on the same level with the Polish people, because we are also strong and fighters. And I know that Polish people throughout history had a lot of fights and a lot of wars in their country. So they know what it is to stand up for their rights, and they know that they can lose a lot. And this is the same thing in the Netherlands. But if you want to speak about politicians not abiding the rule of law, I think we can select a lot of countries inside of Europe that are not obeying the rule of law, because I think politics and politicians always think that they make the law and they shouldn't obey the law. But yeah, I think we need to focus a lot more on this, because all over Europe countries are not obeying law, especially the parliaments.
Exactly. So what can I say? Just wish you good luck with your battle, and hopefully election will be successful for you, for farmers.
We'll take care of that.
Yeah, to make sure all the Europe is well taken care of, and we having this food security, which is the most important issue lately.
Thank you very much. Food security is number one.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Jos. And
you're welcome.
Have a lovely day of work, as I can see. You are a busy man.